Yo, what's up everyone, it's Plus3 here and welcome back to another video. I just want to open up and say thank you all so much for the great feedback that I got from my other video, and sorry for being a lazy cunt and not responding to all of you. I will try and better myself in that sense. This video is about still enhancement, because it's the greatest spec ever fucking invented. This is everything you need to know about hybrid enhancement 3.3.5. Right, so I'll just get straight into it. It's pretty basic, not a lot of changes, so try and keep up. We're gonna start with the gear. The gear doesn't change that much, as I just said. For example, you still use the 4 set from enhancement. The head, shoulders, chest and legs are still the same, due to the 4 set bonus that you get. 15% chance to gain 20 attack power for 10 seconds. Now why you use this is because of this talent, mental quickness. Increases your spell power by an amount equal to 30% of your attack power. So 20% of attack power is transferred into spell power, and since it's being percent based, the more attack power you have, the more attack power you get, so the more spell power you get. So this spec actually utilizes both the attack power and the spell power aspect of enhancement. The original enhancement spec still does that, it just doesn't do it as well. Right, so what are the pieces that you do switch out? You do switch out your belt, and I'll go through where it drops as well. The belt is from RS 25 man. The cloak is from RS 25 man as well. The braces are from ICC 25 man heroic. It's Rot Face or Festigut, one of the two, I do believe. The ring, Loop of Endless Labyrinth, dropped from Maragar 25 man heroic, I do believe. And the trinkets are both Reign of the Dead, one normal version, one heroic version. Now these are a little bit tricky to get a hold of actually. If you reserve it though, it shouldn't be too much of an issue getting the normal version. The heroic version might be a little bit harder to get a hold of due to it being TOC 25 man heroic and Obarak. And to be completely honest with you, you need people that know what they're doing during this fight, because it's not the easiest fight in the game. And the last piece is a spell power one-handed mace. Preferably, the best in slot version is of course the mace from LK 25 man heroic, but LK 25 man normal works as well. Right, so those are the pieces that do change. I did not say it, but I will say it. You cannot play this spec without these 2 trinkets. These 2 trinkets are the alpha and the omega of this spec. You also do need a spell power mace, as I said, preferably the one from LK, due to the amount of spell power it gives you. You get about 900 spell power, which is fucking ridiculous IMO, but you know, it's balanced and all, right? Right, so that's the gear that you need. Everything else, by the way, stays the same as normal enhancement. Every other piece is still the best of slot for hybrid and for original. The talents, they don't change that much either. If you look at this is my normal enhancement build. All you do basically is that you take 3 talents from enhancing totems, put them into the ancestral knowledge ability due to the spell crit you get and total mana you get, and the 1 talent that's left over you put in elemental focus. You put this talent into elemental focus because this spec is going to cost you a lot of mana. It's a mana heavy spec basically, but as a substitute for that, you do get a lot of mana from your gear. For example, ring, weapon, braces and cloak, which is in the original enhancement replaced by agility. So you have a lot more mana to play with in this spec. As you can see, I have about 22,000, 21.8, somewhere around there. Can't see the exact number, but yeah. The glyphs for this spec is there's one that's the same, and it's the Glyph of Storm Strike. Increases the nature damage bonus from your Storm Strike ability by additional 8%. This is good because you still use the Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt ability and Earth Shock and Lightning Shield. This is also a very good ability to glyph to have due to the Static Shock talent. You have 6% chance to hit your target with a Lightning Shield when you deal damage with a melee weapon or abilities. Now this comes into now this talent changes a lot in this spec due to you having a 1.8 speed mace with talent, and in addition to that, Wind Fury Totem that gives you 20% melee haste. So you attack so goddamn quickly with a main hand weapon that you're gonna notice that your Lightning Shield will disappear a lot faster in this spec than in your normal enhancement, only due to the speed of your main hand weapon. I do believe that all main hand spell power weapons are fast weapons, so whichever main hand weapon you use, you're still gonna have a fast speed on it, making your Lightning Shield disappear way more quickly than in the original spec. The second talent is Flame Tongue Weapon. The reason why you use this one is because in this spec you don't actually use Wind Fury on your main hand and Flame Tongue Weapon on your offhand. In this spec you go to Flame Tongue, so Flame Tongue on main hand and Flame Tongue on offhand. Now in this spec, the glyph of Flame Tongue Weapon increases your spell critical chance by 2% while having Flame Tongue Weapon. It stacks, so it's per weapon, right? So if I use my Flame Tongue Weapons on both my weapons, you can see that I get 4% spell crit, which is quite nice, and then I also get about 500 spell power due to it giving 274 spell power per weapon. So that's quite nice. So this is also a must-have glyph. Sorry, it's my fucking allergies kicking in. And the last talent, the last glyph for this spec is the Glyph of Fire Nova. Reduces the cooldown on your Fire Nova spell by 3 seconds. This stacks with the talent Improved Fire Nova, which reduces the cooldown by an additional 4 seconds, leaving you with a total cooldown of your Fire Nova of 3 seconds. Now this is where this spec shines. This spec basically revolves around Fire Nova. Fire Nova is the reason why you go this spec. It scales with spell power, and you get spell power from your attack power. It also procs the trinkets in AoE, making it proc a lot because it's per mob. You gain a mote of flame each time you cause a non-periodic critical strike, and that is counted by each mob in the group. So if there's 7 mobs and your Fire Nova crits for 7, you instantly get 2 procs, because it procs off everything, every single mob in the radius around you, or around the Fire Nova, your Fire Nova ability, that is. So this spec is purely for AoE, I would say. Some people run a single target, but with my build it does a lot more damage. Original enhancement does a lot more damage than hybrid spec during single target and cleave, and what I mean by cleave is 2 targets, not 3, 2 targets. But as soon as there are more than 3 targets, this spec will outdo normal enhance 10 times over. It is a really good spec during faction champions in TOC 10 or 25. It's also a really good spec during Bane and LOD. You will absolutely destroy the meters with this spec due to your Fire Nova and Magma Totem ability due to it being so much AoE. And throughout the fight as well with the Valkyries and all that crap. So basically this spec revolves around AoE. This is only a spec that you want to go when there's a lot of AoE. It's also a very fun spec to go when there's trash mobs in ICC, for example, because there are quite big groups, so you can absolutely destroy the meteors during the trash packs as well. But yeah, this spec is for AoE purely. The one tricky part about this spec though is if you're doing it like me, one hybrid spec and one original enhancement spec, you're still gonna need 26 expertise and 14% hit. So this, I can't tell you what to do. You can probably armory my character if you want to see if you have the exact same pieces. You can armory my character and you can see what I have gemmed in my offset in my hybrid spec to get expertise capped and hit capped. Because if I go into my original enhancement spec, you can see here that I still have 14% hit and 26 expertise still. So yeah, I would recommend that if you have the hands, you put 10 expertise, 10 hit, and then 20 expertise in it. So because its hands are an example that doesn't change between the specs. So you still need the expertise in both the specs and both the sets. So it doesn't change that much. Yeah, so that's basically it. For the waste, I can go through the gems if you want to see it. I'm not sure. You know me, I'm a fan of doing hybrid gems, aka 12 power, 12 spell power and 10 hit. I don't like going the pure hit or expertise gems. I like getting the best of both worlds, and I do believe that that will benefit me a lot more due to the I want the extra damage on my Fire Nova. So that's the spec. The crucial part about this spec, as I said earlier, is these two trinkets and the mace for one hand, a main hand, sorry, for the spell power that it gives you about 900. And the talents doesn't change dramatically. It's 3 points in total that changes, 2 in here and 1 in elemental focus. Priorities are not that much difference. Lava Lash is still your least used ability. Storm Strike, you just want to use it when you have when you don't have the debuff, because then again your enemy takes 28% increased damage from Lightning Shield, Earth Shock, and Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning. I will try to upload a video of this when I get into an AoE fight and I can show it to you. I did do LOD Bane the other night, but unfortunately that damage has been long gone. But yeah, since I guess I can mention that Fire Nova only has a 3-second cooldown, right? So what you want to do, what you want to try and keep doing is that you want to keep replacing your Magma Totem as much as you can. Now this is a very mana heavy spec, as I said, so it's going to cost you a lot of mana, so you need to, like, with time you will understand the amount of mana you can spend on different things. The problem with this spec, for example, is that Shamanistic Rage has a chance on successful melee attacks to generate equal to mana equal to 15% of your attack power. The problem with this is that you don't have Wind Fury weapon, so you can't proc Shamanistic Rage of your Wind Fury procs. So if you get unlucky with the procs, you may not get a lot of mana back from Shamanistic Rage. But if you are lucky, you will regain, as normally, 100% of your total mana pool, and you can start all over again. But yeah, Fire Nova is your absolutely your number one priority, due to it doing so much damage, and it can crit, and it can proc your trinkets and all that jazz, and it is not limited to any amount of enemies. For example, as Cleave, I think Cleave is limited to three mobs for a warrior. Blade Flurry, I do believe is just 2 characters. I'm not entirely sure, and whatnot. So it's an unlimited amount of damage, and it's your absolutely number one priority. It also has 3-second cooldown, so you can basically spam it as much as you want. Same rules goes for Maelstrom weapon. When you have 5 stacks, you want to use your Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt, and due to you having so much spell power in this spec, you're gonna see a lot of crits with a Lightning Bolt, especially. I think in ICC crits about 25k for me, 20k, something like that. So it's a huge damage increase with your spell power abilities, which means that your spell power abilities are your absolute number one priority, because Storm Strike doesn't do a lot of damage because you don't have Wind Fury weapon, for example. And Lava Lash, again, is just a way to regenerate Maelstrom weapon for you. So yeah, that's basically everything you need to know about Hybrid Enhancement. It's really good during AoE. It's really fun to use during Trash and all that crap, but it's not as good during Cleave, aka 2 targets or single target, as normal enhancement, due to simply Wind Fury. So that's my guide on Hybrid. I hope it was educational. If I missed anything, or if you have any questions, please leave in the comments below, and I shall see you later. Ta-ta!